Welcome back to Enigmatic Echoes, the podcast where folklore, urban legends, and the unexplained refuse to stay buried. I'm your host, Jazz. Tonight, maybe don't answer the door if you hear someone calling your name. You'll see why. We're headed to South India, to the state of Karnataka, for a story that got so big, so fast, that a real Bollywood movie was basically built on top of it. That's not a small flex for a ghost. Most urban legends peak at your babysitter tells it at a sleepover. This one peaked at national box office hit. Quick disclaimer before we start. What you're getting tonight is the actual folklore, not the internet's 5th generation photocopy of it. And here's the twist. There isn't just one version of this legend. There's two, and they don't agree with each other at all. One is about survival. The other is about a wedding that never got to happen. So tonight, you get both. Buckle in. Let's start with the words themselves, because they're the whole point. Nale Ba, sometimes written Naale Ba, is Canada, the language of Karnataka, and it translates to come tomorrow. Sounds almost polite, right? Like turning away a salesman. That's exactly the trick. In the early 1990s, in villages and neighborhoods around Bengaluru, including one specifically named in the old tellings, Maleshwaram families started writing those two words in chalk or paint right on their front doors and outer walls. Not as decoration, as a ward, a verbal restraining order against the supernatural. Because the thing knocking on your door at 2 a.m., it doesn't take no for an answer, but apparently it respects a schedule. Here's version 1, the one most people tell first. Late at night, in a quiet house, someone hears a voice outside calling their name. And it's not a stranger's voice. It's exact. Your mother, your husband, your best friend from down the road. The kind of voice you don't question. Because why would you? You know that voice. So you get up, you walk to the door. Maybe you're annoyed. It's late. What do you want? You put your hands on the latch. And that's the moment the legend hinges on. Because the thing on the other side of the door was never your mother. It's a witch, a shape-shifting spirit that studies the voices of people you love and wears them like a mask. And the story is brutally specific about what happens next. If you open the door and answer her call, you are marked. Some versions say you're dead within 24 hours, vomiting yourself sick with no explanation. Other versions are almost worse. She doesn't kill you outright, she takes you. Specifically, she goes for the breadwinner, the one person the family can't survive without. And once that person is gone, the family doesn't just grieve, they starve. Now, here's a real account, one of the tellings that circulated at the time. A family is settling in for the night. One member hears what he's certain is a relative's voice, outside calling to be let in. No hesitation, he gets up, walks over, opens the door, and standing there is not his relative. That's it. That's the whole encounter. No monologue, no chase scene, just a horrifying half second of realizing the face doesn't match the voice you just trusted with your life. That gap between what you heard and what you're now looking at is the entire engine of this legend. It's a story about how the people who know you best can be turned into the very thing that gets you killed. So people fought back the only way they could. They didn't wait for her to knock. They wrote it on the door first. Nale Ba, come tomorrow. A preemptive rejection. Some tellings say if you shout it back at her through the door, she has to leave and come back the next night. And the night after, forever one day behind, forever turned away. Now, version 2. Same name, same 2 words. On the wall, completely different ghost underneath. In this telling, Nale Ba isn't a random shape-shifting predator. She has a backstory, and it's a tragic one. She was a bride. On her wedding day, the single day meant to be the beginning of her whole life, something went catastrophically wrong, and she died. Betrayed, some say. Heartbroken, all versions agree. And she didn't move on. She came back. But she didn't come back for revenge on any one person. She came back looking for a husband. Any husband. She walks the lanes at night, door to door, and she wants the man of the house. Again, often the sole earner, the pillar the family leans on, to come with her permanently into whatever comes after death. Not out of malice exactly, out of a wedding that never finished. Picture the encounter this way. A woman in bridal red, walking the dark road alone, veil catching the moonlight, knocking on doors that have no business being knocked on at that hour. She doesn't scream. She doesn't lunge. She waits for you to open the door, because the choice has to be yours. That's the cruelty of it. And if the man of the house steps outside to see who's there, he simply isn't seen again. Here's the detail that should give you chills. Researchers who've studied this side of the legend point out it's nearly a mirror image of the widow ghost. Legends told across the border in Thailand, a female spirit, once a bride, hunting down men, generation after generation, culture after culture, same fear, different coastline. And this bridal version is the one that got the Bollywood treatment. The 2018 film Stree leaned directly on this legend, a mysterious female entity stalking a town at night, townspeople scrawling protective phrases on their walls to survive till morning. The movie fictionalizes it, sure, but the bones are Nale Ba's bones. So why did two totally different ghosts end up sharing one name and one doorside ritual? Because the fear underneath both stories is the same fear, something you love calling you outside at night when you're most defenseless. Whether she's a shapeshifter who steals your family's provider or a bride who steals your family's husband, either way, the story is doing the same job. It's teaching you, don't trust a familiar voice blindly. Don't open the door after dark. Protect the person your household depends on. That's not superstition dressed up as a nonsense. That's community coping with real anxieties about safety, loss, and rapid urban change, wrapped in a ghost story so it actually gets repeated at every dinner table in the neighborhood. And it worked. For years, Nale Ba was painted on doors across Karnataka, not because everyone truly believed a witch was standing there every single night, but because saying it out loud, writing it in plain sight costs nothing. And if you were wrong to skip it, well, nobody wanted to find out. So, dual ghost, one warning label, a voice thief who wants your breadwinner, or a bride who wants a husband, any husband, apparently not picky. Karnataka really said, let's cover our bases. Look, I'm not saying you need to go chalk come tomorrow on your own front door tonight, but if you do hear your best friend's voice outside your window at 2 a.m., maybe, and I cannot stress this enough, just text them first. Wildly underrated safety tip. Works on witches, exes, and door-to-door salesmen alike. Thanks for hanging out with me for this one. If you liked it, you know what to do. And hey, if a familiar voice calls your name after this video ends, maybe just let it ring out. I'll see you next time, preferably tomorrow. Good night.